Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 13 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather here because we had a little bit of a reprieve from some of those hot temperatures, but now we're back into the swing of things going up.
That's right. Temperatures are going to be turning rather toasty today. Everybody into the mid to upper 90s, or I should say most of us into the mid to upper 90s today. That is on the heels of what we did see on Tuesday when we saw those 80s. And then yesterday we were back to the low to mid 90s. And then today, again, many of us into the mid to upper 90s. So we will be turning toasty today. As we go towards Friday, we are going to be hot, similar temperatures to today, but we are also going to be looking at blustery winds around the forecast area that is going to promote critical fire danger on Wednesday. And then as we get towards the weekend, wind will stay blustery, but we are going to be looking at much cooler temperatures. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima County. The Wapato woman accused of stealing a jail van near Bowers Field in Ellensburg earlier this month during an escape attempt from King County Sheriff's deputies is claiming she's innocent. Rebecca Ray Tupola is charged with first-degree escape, first-degree kidnapping, and theft of a motor vehicle charges. She pled not guilty. She's accused of stealing the King County Sheriff's Office van that was parked for a transfer of inmates between jails in Ellensburg on July 1st. Prosecutors allege Tupola was able to get behind the steering wheel and drive off with another prisoner inside the van. Investigators say she was arrested after breaking into a nearby home and stealing some cash. And a Kennewick man is facing charges related to a car theft, pursuit, and running into the actual owner of the car. Pasco police posted this picture after the arrest was made. Officers were alerted to a stolen vehicle just before 9 Tuesday night. They say the actual owner first pursued the alleged thief on their own, and when they caught up to him in a parking lot, the thief ran into them with their own car. That touched off a police pursuit on Highway 12 to Tucci, where Washington State troopers helped with spike strips and the pit maneuver. The suspect was booked on first-degree assault, possession of a stolen vehicle, and eluding police charges. And talking that fire burning in Yakima, crews are making progress on containing the Viola Fire near the Yakima River that prompted evacuations. According to Yakima firefighters, it's 50% contained after burning about 14 acres. Right now, crews are making sure any hotspots are put out to prevent the fire from rekindling and are making sure containment holds. However, they want you to know that there will be some smoke coming from the area over the next couple of days. They say there have been no injuries or structures damaged, and they were able to quickly put out spot fires that broke out on a roof of a nearby property. All evacuation levels were lifted Wednesday morning. And with that, we're going to jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, that fire, the Viola Fire, is one of just many fires kind of in the Pacific Northwest region. Even a huge one is burning over in Central Oregon right now. All of that putting out smoke. How is that affecting our smoke forecast?
Yes, some haze and smoke was seen in the sky yesterday, and we are anticipating light haze and smoke again for today. And in fact, this is just going to be something that is pretty commonplace throughout the remainder of fire season. It's just that time of year when so many fires are burning in our general region. There is going to be some haze and smoke in the sky. Looking at our haze and smoke forecast, we did see some of that light haze and smoke yesterday, as I referenced, and we will see some more of that light haze and smoke today. Nothing too terrible in the way of air quality is anticipated, but again, the sky isn't going to be just a pure brilliant blue. There might be a little bit of that haze and smoke overhead. Now, as we advance forward in time with your haze and smoke forecast, it is as we get towards tomorrow during the late afternoon and evening hours, you'll notice that a majority of the haze and smoke will be pushed off to the east. That is because we are going to be looking at some pretty strong winds kicking up on Friday, and that is going to be adding to our fire danger, but at least our skies will turn a little less hazy. We'll talk more about the wind forecast in a moment. First, though, here's a look at temperatures for today. Highs are going to be very warm on this Thursday. Anticipate mid to upper 90s in the Tri-Cities today, mid to upper 90s through the Yakima Valley. Highs will crest in the mid 90s for the Kittitas Valley today, with mid 90s for the Blue Mountain foothills, as everybody does see sunshine overhead, again with a little bit of that haze and smoke. Now let's talk about the wind forecast. For today, most of us will be looking at light wind. We will see a light wind for the Tri-Cities, light wind in Yakima. Walla Walla will enjoy fairly light wind today too, but then towards Ellensburg and Pendleton, we will start to see winds become breezy this afternoon, and then as we go into tomorrow, We will be looking at region-wide blustery conditions on Friday, widespread gusts between 25 and 35 miles per hour, with gusts all the way to 45 miles per hour tomorrow in the Kittitas Valley. There are a number of fire weather alerts posted, red flag warnings for all areas in this kind of pink color, fire weather watches in this tan color. For the red flag warning, this goes from 1 p.m. this afternoon until 10 p.m. on Friday. I will say that I am pretty surprised that this goes into effect, that the red flag warning does go into effect at 1 p.m. this afternoon, because wind in general is going to be pretty light today. I am much more concerned about the fire weather conditions coming on Friday. And for the fire weather watch, this goes from 2 p.m. Friday afternoon until 10 p.m. on Friday evening. And again, I would anticipate this fire weather watch to be upgraded at some point today or early tomorrow ahead of those strong winds that will be arriving tomorrow afternoon. Now, in terms of temperatures over the next 2 days, again, Friday is going to be hot and blustery. That is why we are going to be looking at those critical fire danger concerns, mid to upper 90s for most of the region. By Saturday, winds stay blustery, but temperatures are going to be retreating primarily into the upper 80s to low 90s. Right now, I'm going to throw it over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. Washington state leaders are launching an initiative to advance new technology designed to end drunk driving. The device is known as the Driver Alcohol Detection System for Safety, or DADS. It's designed to detect a driver's blood alcohol level and prevent the vehicle from moving if levels are too high.
What we're trying to do here is prevent drinking and driving from happening in the beginning. It's what you would call a crash avoidance technology, very much like other technologies on your car, such as automatic emergency braking or lane departure warning systems. If you don't need it, you won't even know it's there. If you do need it, it's there to protect you.
Now, the Evergreen State is just the fourth state to join the effort, with the device currently in pilot testing. The city of Pasco could be losing federal dollars currently used to pay a loan for the renovation of Peanuts Park. Each year, the city receives around $800,000 from the federal Community Block Grant Program, which primarily serves low-income communities. $245,000 of those dollars are used each year to pay off a remaining $3 million loan with the federal government that was used to complete the Peanuts Park renovations.
The loan is down to $2.8 million, and we're not sure if the loan would be forgiven, if the funds disappear, or what all the details entail at this point, but it was meant to just give you a heads up that this could be coming.
Now, so far, city staff are still unsure whether this will actually be an issue the city will need to deal with. But in the meantime, the city is writing a letter to Congress to encourage funding of the program. We're learning a little bit more about how turning Jadwin Avenue and George Washington Way into one-way streets in Richland could impact property owners. Tuesday night, the city discussed changes at their regular council meeting. Engineers are hopeful that the changes will more efficiently use the available space to manage traffic and also increase safety. But it does come at a cost, as some property owners in the area could be impacted.
Letters are about to be sent to the affected property owners related to either small property acquisitions, so not a full property acquisition, but small, like strip takes in the front of their properties.
Now, some temporary easements will also be put into place during construction, as driveways and other properties could need adjustment or repaving during construction. The city has launched a website to collect feedback and share more information. Switching gears this morning, Yakima's Will Ridge Winery is the winner of 2 gold medals in this year's Washington State Wine Awards. KIMA's Aidan Connor tells us about their winning wines and shows us how you can enjoy them.
Will Ridge Vineyard is the first and only organic and biodynamic winery in the state of Washington. This year, they won 2 gold medals in the Washington State Wine Awards, one for their Arenal and one for a Merlot. Will Ridge employee and local photographer Jill Laberton told me the story behind the name Arenal and its unique upbringing.
Arenal is actually the winemaker Lenora's name spelled backwards.
Wine drinking is an art, and Laberton gave me a tutorial on how to perfect that craft with the award-winning Arenal.
And if you were to pick up your glass and then sort of swirl it a little bit, and you can do that on the table. There you go, just like that. Perfect. And then just bring it up to your nose and smell they call it the bouquet.
While I may not be a seasoned wine drinker, I decided to try it myself.
Swirl that around
give it a... Okay, that's trying to decipher this. Hold it here, correct. That is very good. That is very good. Safe to say, my experience was a pleasant one. Willridge is no stranger to receiving awards. They were awarded the 2024 Heritage Awards by Washington State Wine last year and have received many more awards in years prior. The vineyard is located in Natchez Heights off Willridge Way and is open Wednesday through Sunday.
KIMA's Aiden Connor, thank you. And a quick reminder, you have until Monday to vote for the Yakima Valley as the nation's best wine region in the USA Today Top 10 poll. Yakima was the top winner last year, and you can help make that happen again. To vote, we have a link over on our website, KIMATV.com, and you can vote every day on each of your browsers or devices. And speaking of voting, ballots for the August primary are now in the mail. The August 5th primary election only impacts a small number of contests where there are 3 or more candidates. The 2 candidates with the most votes in the primary election will then move on to the general election in November. KIMA Action News will be speaking to all candidates who are contesting primary election races in the coming weeks, and we'll have full interviews with all of the candidates for the November election later in the year. Drop boxes are now open across the region. If you mail in your completed and signed ballot, it has to be postmarked on or before August 5th. Switching gears yet again, the Yakima Valley Museum is partnering with the Lupin Society for this summer's History Through Stories program. It's designed for kids ages 4 to 8 and takes place Fridays from July 18th, that's tomorrow, to August 15th. Each session includes a story and a hands-on activity focused on a weekly theme like dinosaurs, apples, or bees. Activities may include crafts, snacks, or exploring museum exhibits tied to the theme.
Well, if you do attend all 5 sessions, you could win a prize, but beyond that, we really hope that students are leaving with more of an understanding of how unique this area is, and really take pride in the stories of our area and be able to connect and also be able to bring their families back and their siblings to point out things that they may have learned in the exhibits when they were here.
To learn more about the program or to register, visit KIMATV.com. And if you're looking for a family-friendly event, there's a fun circus in Pasco. Osorio Circus is family-owned and has been traveling around the world for 8 years now. The circus features acts like knife throwing, jugglers, acrobatics, and the Globe of Death, a motorcycle show. Not only is it said to be a fun show, but the proceeds will be going towards Rascal Rodeo, a local nonprofit organization for children with special needs.
You know, live entertainment is unique. You know, most of the time everybody's stuck on the phone or on a tablet, but live entertainment, you cannot beat live entertainment, especially the circus. And the neat thing about the circus is that it's in an international language. Anybody can understand. It doesn't matter what background you come from, where you're from, what language you speak. Once you see a circus, it's international. And then another good cause that I would encourage everybody, it's for a very good cause, is to help, you know, raise funds for Rascal Rodeo, which is a very good organization.
You can buy tickets online or at the event, and every ticket, adult ticket rather, comes with 2 free children entries under the age of 10. There will be shows at the Pasco Sporting Complex starting today and lasting until Monday. And that does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites, Keeper and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a wonderful day, everybody.